So I'm going to show you what I wish I knew when I started delivering, especially to apartments and locations, larger locations where there are suites and it's harder to find. Um, Single family homes are pretty easy to deliver to, so I'm not going to cover that. In this particular video, I'll show you my app live as I'm delivering to the apartments and these business complexes, and also a mobile home park, just so you can see how that is. It's pretty easy. When I used to do seasonal work for UPS, mobile home parks were hard, but they're actually the easiest route you can do. But I just do that in. So I delivered quite a few packages, like about 7,000 packages, and I always finish my route, before schedule, sometimes hours before schedule. Only because I'm able to figure out how to work after making several mistakes, how to work the route efficiently. So, I mean, there's basically three rules that I usually use when I'm delivering. I rarely call driver support. They're, to be honest, a waste of time.
You suck!
And sometimes you have to reach them, or I used to reach them, because the biggest problem you might encounter is access to a delivery location, because mainly because it's a gated community and you need a code and you don't have that code, and it's early in the morning or late at night and you can't reach the customer to get the gate open. So sometimes you have to call. I used to call driver support, but I no longer do that. You just waste my time. Anyway, that's for another video. And you don't want to also just wait around trying to gain access, or waiting around for a customer. I don't waste my time doing that either. You just want to make the most efficient use of the map on the app, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video as the last part, how to efficiently use the map. So the first thing I do when I get my block of time is I open up um, the itinerary of my current block, and there are two toggles that you're going to be using, or that I use frequently, is the list. So the list just shows you the list, as it says, in order of your delivery stops, and then there's the map. I like using the map when I first start out, so I can see exactly where I'm going to and if I need to make any adjustments to my stop. And here you can see where I do need to make adjustments to, or I want to make some adjustments to the stop. Sometimes you make a lot of adjustments, or I should say I do, and sometimes I don't have to make any adjustments at all. I'm fine with how they laid out the map, but sometimes the way they lay it out, it just absolutely makes no freaking sense, and I go ahead and just rearrange how I want to go about delivering my route. So as long as I finish on time, I, there aren't any issues here. As you can see, here is where I'm at the blue dot. So I just finished delivering my first package, which is number 2. Number 1 is always the station. So the second package, or the second on the list, is your first stop. And as you can see here, after my first stop, which is the next stop is number 3, after my number 2 stop. But you can see 8 is right next door, right near number 2. So why wouldn't I go to number 8 first, and then go to number 3 and 4 and so on? So what I do is I go ahead, and after I made that second stop, I go ahead and press on number 8, and number 8 will create like a little bubble up, and then it'll say preview route. So you hit the preview route at the bottom, and then go ahead and deliver that. So you can go ahead and deliver. So I go ahead and deliver to number 8, and then I go to number 3, then 4, then 5, and 6, and 7, and 9, and then I do another adjustment also. So here I had to do some adjustments to the stops, but only because it would make more sense for me, and I can save a lot of time. Sometimes you can save a little bit of time, sometimes you can save a whole lot of time. I had one stop where I think if I didn't make a change, it would have added like about 40 minutes to my actual route. So I like to do this, and I suggest you do it too. Alright, so on this particular route, I'm going to be delivering to an apartment, a small
Head south
apartment
on Illinois Street, then in a
complex. You can see
quarter
it's
mile
apartment number
turn
one,
left onto
so it's
Howard
a
Avenue.
pretty easy one to deliver to. But I just want to start out this way so you can see how to use the navigation system, or how I use the navigation system to drive to my location. So as you can see here, the blue arrow is just me driving to a delivery location, and the black versus delivery, that's where I'm going to end up delivering this particular package. On the left hand side, you can pay attention, deliver one package. So sometimes, especially if you're delivering to an apartment, you want to make
Turn
sure
right onto
that you
Iowa Street,
have the
then in
correct number of
200
packages,
feet,
because
arrive at the
sometimes what you find
destination
out
on your right.
is that you go to an apartment and then you say, oh man, I have 2 packages or 3 packages to deliver to this apartment. I only picked up one, so
In
make sure you
200, arrive at
see
the
how many packages you
destination on your
deliver.
right.
Otherwise, you have to go back to your car and retrieve the other package. But here I'm driving and I'm exiting the navigation system. The reason I do this is because I can get a better tracking on where I'm going. So it looks like I'm walking, but I'm actually still driving there to the apartment complex. And you can see the address of the apartment. 4126 is there, and so I'm driving to the. Looks like there's a small parking lot in front of this particular unit, and it looks like I'm parked there. And you can see that little arrow. So the arrow is where I'm pointing the app towards the delivery. So here I'm probably retrieving the package from my car, and then I'm going to be walking to apartment number 1. And you can see on the bottom right hand and on top, where now I'm walking towards the unit, and see that little arrow, it tells me exactly where that apartment unit number is. So I'm going through the gate right now, and apartment number 1 is going to be right by the door on the right hand side. So they just follow the arrow, and so there's some instructions there. It just says deliver to the front gate, and you scan the package, and then you're set to go. And indicate where you're going to go, drop it off, front door, and here's a photograph of the actual apartment complex. Okay, so next I'm going to deliver to actually a large apartment complex. So the way I navigate, it's going to make it a lot easier to go find larger complexes, because sometimes you have a lot of units in there. So I exit navigation so I can have this kind of what I call, I guess, the walking navigation. Actually, I'm driving, but I can clearly see where I'm going with that navigation. I'm just pulling the map out so I can see. So I'm driving this particular building, which is 3360, and it's a huge apartment complex. So it's helpful when you can use this navigation. See what the little arrow is. So the arrow is going to point you where you need to be. So I'm parked, look like, at the parking lot of this complex, and keep in mind it's early in the morning, so I usually have like the 3:30 a.m. shift, so it's completely dark outside and I can't see any numbers. So I rely on this on the navigation system to see where I'm going. Otherwise, some of these buildings, you'll notice they don't have numbers, or you can't see the numbers clearly because there's no light out. So if you're delivering early in the morning or late at night, where you don't see, or you can't easily see the either building or the apartment number, this is very helpful. So right now I'm walking. Looks like I retrieved the package, and sometimes the units are crazily numbered in a complex. Sometimes they don't even make sense, because I see like there's unit 101, and say I have unit 103. You would think they would be next to each other, but in some cases they're very far apart. So right now I'm just following the arrow. See that little arrow? I'm just following it towards this delivery. And there's lots of walls here, so it's not a straight delivery, so I kind of have to go in circles to find it, but I know where I need to walk to, so I'm just going down a corridor. That's why I passed it right there, because there wasn't a way to get in there. I have to go to the corridor area. So it looks like I found the apartment unit here, and I'm right on it. I'm going to go ahead and scan it. I'm in front of the door most likely, and see I put front door, and then just take a photograph of it, and that's it. So make sure you exit the navigation system so you can see it more precisely where you're going to. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to be delivering to a business park, and the business park are similar to apartments in some cases, but usually they're small. They're usually easier to find. So again, I just exited. Looks like the navigation system, and I'm walking. So I parked. I retrieve it, and this particular um, business unit is clearly on the other side of the building here. So you can see the unit number from the side you're looking at. So you have to I just have to rely on where it says the delivery location, and then I'm just following the arrow. So the arrow will take me exactly to the business unit number I need to deliver this package to. Again, it's early in the morning. I can't see any numbers at all, so I have no idea where I'm going other than what the actual pin is taking me to. So it looks like I'm at the delivery location, and it's wide open to the streets, and there's nobody there right now because it's, I think it's like 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the morning right now, where I'm delivering the package. So I'm gonna see if I can find a safe place to leave the package. I don't like to take packages back to the station, so I always try to leave it someplace in a safe area. So here's the see, it has receptionist or doorman, but I don't see. It warns you here because it's a business, but looks that's where I'm hiding the package behind some trees there, some shrubbery, because the thing faces the street, so people walking by can see the package. Like that's why I placed it there. You take a photograph, and you can also text the customer, hey, I delivered their
In
package.
200 feet,
And this
make
is
a
where I
hard
have it.
right turn.
So the next
Make
stop
a
is going
hard
to be,
right
like I
turn.
said, one of the easier places to deliver to. I like delivering to mobile home parks. When I used to drive for UPS as a seasonal driver, I hated mobile home parks because I had to look at the map. But with the Amazon Flex app, you don't have to
In 200
look
feet,
at
arrive
the
at the
map that's
destination on your
on
right.
the front of a mobile home park. You just follow the your navigation system, and it'll lead you right
Arrive
in
at the
front of the door
destination on your
to the
right.
mobile home unit that you need to be visiting. So here I just exited the navigation, so it looks like I'm walking, but I'm actually driving there. So I'm going to be parking here pretty soon. So it looks like I parked, scanning the package, and it's like, just take like 4 steps to get to the front door of this particular of these mobile home parks, and just snap a picture. So like I said, they're mobile home parks. You're gonna find out they're the easiest ones to do. As you can see how dark it is outside right now. So I'm using the flash on my phone to take this photograph and finish up the route. All right, thanks. Yeah, so this video is actually sponsored by Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's vegan foie gras. So now you can enjoy the yummy taste of foie gras, but without the guilt this season. So make sure you look for Mike Tyson's vegan foie gras at your favorite health store. Thanks, Mike.
Hold on. Where you going? Where you going?